Hello and welcome to your favorite bookish podcast, Fully Booked and Caffeinated. I'm Heather.
I'm Kelsey.
And today we are discussing Alice Feeney's psychological thriller, His and Hers. Dun dun dun. Before we jump in, what was today's coffee of choice?
Well.
Or this weekend's, whatever you prefer.
Well, I did have my dog's father bring me a Starbucks on Saturday, which was magical and delicious.
Nice.
But the real exciting thing is that when I went to ShopRite last night and I got my brown butter chocolate chip cookie creamer, I guess they brought it back and it's not a limited thing because it was full. They had a bunch of them. And They were on sale, 2 for $6. And did I just buy 2 for $6 like a couple weeks ago? Yeah. So now I have 4 coffee creamers, 3 of which are unopened.
But they stay good for a while unopened.
Yeah, I looked at the expiration dates and it was like July
June.
or something.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, we're good. But I was so excited. So now every day my coffee is going to be so delicious.
You're going to be so hyped about it.
The world is truly crumbling around us. I fell twice today on the ice. Twice.
Oh, no.
Heather, I don't even leave my house. Barely. And I keep falling.
There was actually, I follow like this local scanner guy on Facebook, and he posted this morning that there was already over 10 calls for people that fell on ice.
Oh my gosh.
So it's not just you. Don't feel bad.
And I'm like, now I fall. And I'm like, wow, one of these days, like, I'm going to actually hurt myself. Like, I'm 35. Okay. I'm not young anymore.
Yeah. My back is not in good shape. If I fall, it's taking me out. I'm done for.
Like, I have bruises all over my legs.
Oh, no.
But
it's sorry.
Fine because I have my coffee cream.
And that's all that really freaking matters right now.
So now I just limit leaving the house and
God
just stay
forbid,
inside and drink my
slip
coffee.
On ice.
I was trying to take the recycling out. I
That's
fell twice.
That's rough.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, I'm not here to complain about the snow, but everyone knows how I feel.
Oh, I will complain about the snow.
I know. It's never going to melt. It's truly never going to melt
because it's never going to reach past like 35 for the next like 3 weeks.
And it's just inches
it's so
and inches
cold
of ice
at night. Like it's not going anywhere until spring.
I put my moon water out last night, and when I got it this morning, I had to defrost it, obviously. It took like hours to defrost.
Oh, no.
Like, is it losing its power? Anyway, what coffee did you have today or this weekend?
I went to Starbucks this morning, and I actually did something new to my signature drink. So I just got, it's nothing crazy.
Okay.
I just got the venti iced white chocolate mocha with oat milk, but then I added brown sugar cold foam.
How is that?
Pretty good, actually.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
I do love that brown sugar cold foam.
Yeah. I've actually really been like limiting buying coffee out. I mean, I'm still doing it, but not as much because I'm using my Nespresso.
Mm-hmm.
So when I'm home, working from home, I'm actually making my coffees like at home.
Good. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Save a little money when you can.
Yeah, because I don't know. Dunkin's just not doing it for me anymore. Their coffee just tastes so watered down.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Not here for it. And then sometimes I go to Starbucks and I'm like paying $7 for coffee. And then I'm like, if I don't love it, then I'm angry.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It is so expensive.
Yeah.
And like, I don't mind. Sometimes I'll go to like an independent coffee shop, like a cafe or something. And I'm like, oh, this coffee was $8, which seems crazy. But I'm like, I would pay the same at Starbucks, and now I'm like supporting a small business.
Yeah, and I would think that the small business would put more love and care into your coffee.
I sure hope so.
At Starbucks. These people out here, baristas, just trying to work a Starbucks 9 to 5,
just trying to get
some
by.
money.
But I will say, despite all the things that are wrong with Starbucks as a corporation, they will pay for you to go to school while you're an employee there.
I've heard that.
My sister's friend from Arizona, she's currently getting her master's online while she works at Starbucks.
That's
and they're
awesome.
paying for the whole thing.
That's really awesome.
Yeah. So there's issues with them, because they are a corporation and they only do it for the tax breaks. But You got to take advantage of it when you can.
But they're doing something.
They're
It's
doing
more you can
something.
say for other corporations.
Yeah, like fuck Amazon. Anyway, we're off topic as usual.
What else is new? Cheers.
Cheers.
So Alice Feeney is a New York Times and Sunday Times multi-million copy best-selling author.
Oh.
Yes. When I looked at her website, she had said she'd written 7 novels, but now it's 8 because her new one just came out. What was it? My Husband's Wife?
Husband's Wife, yeah.
Yeah. And apparently a few of her books got picked up for production.
Okay.
I don't know which other ones did. I hope it's not Rock, Paper, Scissors because that book was not good.
I'm 99% sure that one did.
I mean, it might make a better visual than reading it because that one, it took me a minute to really get myself out of it.
Let's see. That one was such a popular one too.
It's being
adapted into a 6-part TV series for Netflix.
Rock, Paper, Scissors?
Yeah.
Okay.
At least it'll be well done because it's going to be on Netflix.
I know. When everyone was doing their snow day recommendations on TikTok, everyone had that one. And I was like, no. I was like, I wished I DNF'd this book, but I pushed through and I was disappointed.
Yeah. That's definitely one of them. And Beautiful, Ugly, and Sometimes I Lie. I did read Sometimes I Lie. And I felt about it the way I feel about all of Alice Feeney's books, which is not great.
Rock, Paper, Scissors was the first one that I read. Okay. And then this one. So I haven't read any of her other ones yet. Prior to becoming an author, she was a journalist with the BBC for 15 years. That's like a flex. I'm just going to be a journalist with BBC and then I'm going to peace out and just become an author. Her works have been published in 40 different languages, which I also think is a flex. Because if you really think about it, like if we were to write a book, it would only be in like the English language.
Heather, I can't even name 40 languages.
Me either. So that's what I'm saying. Like, she's popular enough that so many countries are like, we need this in our language of language. I don't know what language. Yeah. Okay. How many times can I say the word language? Let's count.
Take a shot every time. No, this is not that kind of podcast.
No, it's not. It's not. And it is currently a limited series on Netflix with Tessa Thompson and John Bernthal. And I didn't know this. Well, I didn't know this to begin with. So it was produced by Freckle Films, which is the actress Jessica Chastain's company. I didn't know she had a production company.
The amount of actors who have their own production companies is kind of mind-boggling.
I know. And I was like, that's actually interesting. So I would guarantee that it's good because I think that anything Jessica Chastain is always good.
I would think so.
So I have not watched it yet. You have not watched it yet. I've seen a lot of people talking about it though, and it seems to be getting good reviews.
I've been seeing the same. Yeah.
So we'll get to it eventually. All right. Our story graph. Who's it for? This is actually a good one.
Okay.
It's not a word salad as much as the other ones are. For readers drawn to psychological thrillers built on dueling perspectives and the question of who's lying, ideal if you like brisk yet measured pacing, shifting viewpoints, and a taut, dark atmosphere that keeps you second-guessing every voice.
Okay, that's actually very accurate.
That one is a good one.
That's a good one.
I feel like now we need to start rating the story graphs. Who is it for? I give that one an A.
That's such a good point. Wow, this is also a great idea for us to make a TikTok about.
It's true.
I'm TikTok minded. Anyway.
Consistently now that we're in boot camp. So I remember I gave you back your copy of the book. And it didn't have a description on the back. It was 3 lines. But now when I looked it up on Storygraph, it had an actual description. So I was like, oh, okay, there is one that exists. And it is. There are 2 sides to every story, yours and mine, ours and theirs, his and hers, which means someone is always lying. When a woman is murdered in Blackdown, a quintessentially British village, newsreader Anna Andrews is reluctant to cover the case. Detective Jack Harper is suspicious of her involvement until he becomes a suspect in his own murder investigation. Someone isn't telling the truth, and some secrets are worth killing to keep. His and Hers is a twisty, smart, psychological thriller, a gripping tale of suspense, told by expertly drawn narrators that will keep readers guessing until the very end.
Expertly drawn.
I didn't read that. I didn't know that that was in there.
Well, someone thinks highly of themselves.
Yeah, seems so. The book is told from two different point of views, and then like a random third one, which is the anonymous murderer, but we don't find out who that is, obviously, until the end of the book. But Hers is Anna Andrews, and his is Jack Harper, and they are a couple who is recently divorced, like 2 years, I think it was,
Yeah,
around
I think
then.
so.
Anna is working as a BBC presenter. There's some Alice Feeney was like, you know what I know? BBC News.
Mm-hmm.
You know I'm going to make this girl's job? BBC,
BBC.
because that's what I know. And she's filling in for her colleague, Kat Jones, who is on maternity leave. And she's apparently Anna's rival, I guess, because she just has the job that Anna wants. So now they're rivals. So she returns from maternity leave, and Anna goes back to being a reporter, which was her original position with the BBC when she first started. A story comes up in Blackdown about a body being discovered in the nearby woods, which is actually the town that Anna had grown up in and faced not only childhood trauma, but the death of her infant daughter. This is like not discussed a lot in the book. Like they bring up that the couple had a daughter and she died. It seemed like she died of like SIDS because she just like died in her sleep. She was with Anna's mom and there was no actual like malicious or anything or intent. Like she just, I think that the point is that the baby like had passed away from SIDS.
Yeah, I think they called it like cradle death.
Yeah. So, but it's like this plot point or this, I mean, it kind of is like a plot point, but then it's never really progressed. Like it's just kind of plopped in random spaces. I don't know if you agree with that, but after their divorce, Jack ended up returning to Blackdown, where he was also originally from, and he has moved in with his sister Zoe and her daughter, and he becomes a police inspector for the town, which is fairly quiet. Nothing big ever comes up. So he like feels morbidly excited about this murder. He's like, oh, I've been jonesing for something big.
And honestly, like, kind of relatable.
I know.
But I did love how they keep alluding to him living with a new woman and a baby.
Oh, I know.
And like, oh, I just got to go home to that woman who nags me all the time. And then they're like,
it's a sister.
Surprise, it's his sister. I love that.
Me too. However, Jack discovers that the murder victim is Rachel, a woman that he had sexual relations with just the night before and many, many times before that. And he conceals not only the fact that he was with her the previous night, but the evidence that continues to pop up throughout the book, framing him for the murder.
It's like the worst cop ever.
He has like her phone, you know.
Her nail clippings, which never comes up again.
No. I might listen. There's a lot that happens. My rating is probably too high, but that's fine. Throughout Anna's POV, she gradually relates her memories from high school, and she's telling the story in pieces spread throughout her chapters. So we're just going to jump into her past and just get that over with before we get back into the present. So Anna originally went to a private school, but once her father, who was very abusive towards her mother, fled town, in parentheses, they could no longer afford to send Anna there, and she ended up going to the all-girls school in town. There, she becomes friends with Rachel, Helen, and Zoe. Rachel is basically the Regina George of the story, and she is a real doozy. Real doozy. Not only was she a manipulative bully, but she groomed Anna for sex and tormented another student, Catherine. And one instance of the torment is she peed in a can of Coke and was like, here, I don't want this anymore. You can have this. And made this girl drink her piss. So that tells us
Rachel
who
is not a real
Rachel
person, okay?
is.
This is, I know that bullying exists, obviously,
Yeah.
but the level of conniving that this Rachel is. Also, can we talk about the fact that they had to make the smart girl an Asian character?
Yeah, I know.
I was like, okay, Alice, give me a
Mm-hmm.
fucking break. Anyway.
But I did not like the grooming part at all. I was like, this is just, I felt so uncomfortable reading it.
It was so icky.
And I really think, and like we talk about this all the time, being a mom now of a girl, now I'm just envisioning her future, and like this actually is fairly common, and I'm just like, oh God, I'm not ready.
And it's
for that.
like, it's so sad because the mom was like so happy that she had friends and that she was excited about these new friends and that she was like with the popular girls and blah, blah, blah. And obviously she had no idea what was going on.
No. Because Rachel was perfect. She would be so nice to her mom when she saw her, and because Anna's mom was basically the local cleaner for all the rich people in town. So that's how she knew Rachel, and she kind of had Rachel befriend Anna at the new school. And so Rachel just comes across as this normal, nice girl when she is the complete opposite.
Diabolical.
Yeah, because here's her most diabolical. For Anna's 16th birthday, they were having a party and wanting to be kind, because Anna's trying to be a normal girl. She invites Catherine, the girl that is incessantly bullied. And at the party, she gave each of the girls a friendship bracelet, and they posed for a group photograph. Both of these reappear in the present POV. So the photograph is important and the bracelets are important.
I'm sorry, hold for 1 second, because
Yes.
I understand that Anna was like, it's my birthday and I'm going to try and be nice. You knew what was going to happen when you invited this girl who they literally made her drink piss.
Yeah, I know.
Give me a break.
I know.
Okay.
So while under the influence of drugs and alcohol, the girls meet up with some random older guys in the woods who apparently paid Rachel in order to have sex with the other girls. Which apparently should have been like a duh moment. Why else would we be here? And Helen and Zoe were basically like, yeah, just do it. It's fine. And I'm like, what is happening?
Like, how else would we get to buy whatever we want?
I wasn't expecting, because obviously we don't find out about this situation until later on in the book. So you didn't really know where the storyline was going to go for the teenage girl's story. And it just got progressively worse. I was like, there was a lot of shock factor that I was like, oh, I wasn't expecting a rape.
And like, they were running a train on this girl.
Yeah.
In the middle of the woods. It was so dark, so unnecessarily dark. And it's just so unrealistic that no one ever found out about this.
Yes, I know.
I was like, I get it. Like, she's supposed to be like this diabolical high school girl who's like into bad shit, but this is like some other level. This is like the Jeffrey Epstein of teenage girls.
100%. Or do you remember, did you watch or read the book Dare Me? And then there was that TV show by Meg Abbott.
Oh, yes.
I had read it and then I really didn't like it. The dichotomy reminded me of that book, because that girl was also insane.
It's just like these, oh my gosh. She would not go on to like live a normal life.
I know. And it's just insane that she ends up screwing Anna's like ex-husband. I don't know. Before Anna left, she witnessed the beginning of a gang rape on the unconscious Catherine. And after this incident, Anna had written a suicide note at the time detailing the events of her birthday with the intention of killing herself. But instead, she burns the note in her fireplace in her room, which, jealous, by the way. I wish I had a fireplace in my room. And then she fled Blackdown to attend a different boarding school. So that is the past of Anna. And I'm surprised she turned out somewhat. I mean, she's not normal because she's a raging alcoholic.
Seriously. There's not a single redeeming character in this book, but go on.
Well, no, there's one that I like. I'll get into it though.
Okay, I'm curious.
There are 3 murders in total. First is Rachel in the woods. They find her with the word Two-Face written on her nails, and the friendship bracelet is wrapped around her tongue, which becomes the running signature of the killer. Every girl that's murdered has the friendship bracelet wrapped around their tongue.
Which I did think was kind of a cool touch.
I liked that. I did like that. Second is Helen, who, as you said, is the Asian of the book. And of course, she's smart. So now she's the headmaster of the all-girls school that they attended. And she's found at the school where there is cocaine in her nose because apparently she had a coke habit. Mm-hmm. And again, the friendship bracelet wrapped on her tongue. Third is Zoe, who is murdered in her bathtub. This one was gory. Made to look like she killed herself. And you guessed it. There was a friendship bracelet wrapped around her tongue. And I don't know. This one is bathtub deaths freak me out so much. I just don't know what it is about it.
Did
I think
you watch
it's like
13 Reasons Why?
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, and just, you know, I don't know.
Okay. The fact that everyone kept saying that it was possibly a suicide, her eyelid was sewn shut.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
I'm going to go kill myself. Let me sew my eyelid shut
right.
first.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, yeah, it looks self-inflicted. I was like,
Listen.
What?
All I'll say is that Zoe had it coming because she was a little bitch when she was a teenager and she was mutilating cats in the town. And that's not cool. So.
Another so dark, so unnecessary thing.
Yeah, didn't
she
like
was
that.
Making hats out of the kitty cat fur.
Nope, not for me. Okay. It's usually you that chooses the animal cruelty in books.
You were bound to find one eventually.
I was. And I was not happy about it, trust me. After each murder, the girls are crossed out in the picture. So the picture is of the 5 of them, and then the killer crosses out each face. And the killer purposely leaves it on the counter at Zoe's house. So it looks suspicious for Jack. So now this is like kind of like everyone was already kind of suspicious of him. His new partner, Priya, who this is the one character I did not understand. I couldn't tell what direction she was going because she seemed like timid, and then it seemed like that was all facade. But then she was timid, and then she wasn't. And she was weirdly obsessed with Jack. And it was made out like she wanted to fuck him, but she didn't. So I don't know.
I don't think your confusion is your problem. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I think there's a reason you feel confused. Because she had no personality whatsoever, except following Jack around like a puppy dog.
Yeah.
And
like there was the scene when they were at the station and it was after hours and she, you know, Jack realizes that she ordered all his favorite food or something and she unbuttoned her blouse a few buttons.
And he just thinks that everyone wants to fuck him.
And he keeps saying, I'm not good looking. I don't know why. I'm not like handsome.
Like,
I'm older.
I don't shower. I'm wearing the same clothes as I've been wearing for 3 days. I look horrible, but this young 20-something definitely wants to fuck me. Mm-hmm. And then he's like, but I can't give her the wrong idea because like HR will have a field day. I'm going to kiss her.
Uh-huh. While drinking, because that's the best time to do that. So, Priya begins to suspect him since he is connected to all of these girls, and turns out he was the one who took the photo all those years ago because he dropped off Zoe to the party, and Rachel was like, take our picture. So now like he's looking real guilty. And also,
wait, I have another question.
Go ahead.
Because this was a disposable camera where you have to crank it. And she was taking naked pictures of underage girls. Where was she sending this film to be developed? Because I'm pretty sure CVS has like a a duty to report. No?
That's a valid question. Maybe she has a guy.
She must.
Maybe like one of her dudes works for CBS in the photo department.
Mm.
And so
You're right.
it's an inside operation.
Okay. All right. Fair point. Okay. All right. A plot hole you've tied up. Good job.
Wonderful. And like, so throughout the different point of views, they both, Anna and Jack, begin to like doubt themselves and each other as they continue to investigate the murders. So there's definitely a lot of like red herrings, and it bounces back and forth like they're fucking playing dodgeball. And so because then I'm like, it almost makes you wonder, like, oh, maybe it is Anna. No, it can't be Anna. Maybe it is Jack. But why would it be Jack? So like, I think the author definitely is really good at confusing you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
which is
because
probably the point.
That third POV from the killer is
Yes.
supposed to feel like Anna from the
that
very
pops
beginning.
in like randomly, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it's like, oh, I was here last night, and then you find out that Anna was in that same spot last night, and like so on and so forth. But it's like so obvious that you're like, this can't be.
Yeah, and
what I think it is,
and all the evidence that was planted on Jack.
Mm-hmm.
So it definitely makes you doubt who it could be.
Mm-hmm. And it's also weird because even though they have this really tense past and they've been through like this horrible thing with each other and that tore them apart, they still are the only ones that the other can trust. Like whenever something is happening, they want to contact each other.
100%. Because I mean, they definitely still have love for each other. I just think that, like you said, they went through a very traumatic event. And I think it's very rare for couples to stay together when you lose a child. I would love to know like a statistic on that, actually, because I think that it is, once that happens, either one parent can't get over it, or not that they have to, or but then the other one feels unloved or unwanted, and
there's always
especially
some
if there's
level
other
of
children.
blame.
Yeah, so I think in that scenario, it's very hard to make your marriage or relationship work.
And he even says at one point, well, she obviously blames him for it, but he also says at one point, like, I felt like she was the only one who was allowed to be sad. She was the only one who was allowed to grieve, but like, I lost a daughter too. And I think that that's like a very real thing that happens often.
It is, because I think that there's this idea that because the mother created that, grew it, birthed it, that, because I mean, there obviously is a different connection a mother has with their child, because you were literally in my body, like my heartbeat was your heartbeat, you know what I mean? So I think that there is kind of this automatic assumption that, well, the mother will be more sad because they created him, but that's not necessarily true, because who's to say the dad doesn't love that child the same, sometimes even more. So I don't think it's fair to automatically,
some horrible mothers.
So I don't think it's fair to just automatically assume that the mother gets to be sad forever, and that's okay, and to like not have the dad feel validated, because listen, they put some work in. It was very minimal, probably took 5 seconds, but it was there.
5 seconds if you're lucky. But it's also like they didn't have a choice. They couldn't create that like and I'm sure there are a lot of men who are, not a lot, I'm sure there are some men who are jealous of that connection that women have with their babies,
Oh yeah. There's also, you hear a lot about that it is definitely more difficult for the father to bond with their baby. And before actually Millie was born, we had bought kind of like this parenting book, and we were reading through random chapters, and the man who wrote it, he even talks about his own experience, and that it took him 8 months to bond like with his baby, and so sometimes it doesn't happen right away. And there's also a lot of times for moms that they don't bond right away either. Like for me, I would say, like, I knew I loved Millie, but I think it even took me longer than I would have liked to like feel okay
Well,
with
yeah, and
it.
also
So
like with the postpartum. And we talked
postpartum.
about that
Mm-hmm.
in the push episode
Yeah.
because she wasn't able to bond. And I
Mm-hmm.
think it's also like, especially if a woman is breastfeeding, and
Mm-hmm.
so like the dad isn't able to help with the feedings, isn't
Mm-hmm.
able to get up with her in the middle of the night. Like that's time that they're missing out, that the mom is doing extra bonding.
Yeah. That whole first year of a child's life, I just would love to get into the brains of every single person, because that, I think, is the most interesting time in a person's life for both the mothers and the fathers.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a brand new thing that you have brought into this life that you now have to care for with no instruction manual.
Terrifying.
You're YOLOing it, all right? And you don't know what's going to happen. And there's just so many, the book I'm reading now, it keeps bringing up this phrase, infinite endings. And I'm like, there's so many infinite scenarios that can happen when you're raising a child.
Stop.
And
Now it sounds like we're back in our dark matter episode.
But like, it's true. It's true. Oh,
Mhm.
man. If I could just do a study on that for the rest of my life, I would do that for a job.
I think you have to go to science school.
Yeah, I probably do. I'll just make a podcast. It'll be fine.
Good idea.
Anyways, back to the book. So Anna is working alongside her cameraman, Richard, who was also her cameraman back in the day, that she also had an affair with while still married to Jack, but after the death of their daughter. So their marriage was kind of already, not that I'm justifying an affair, but she was already emotionally checked out from her relationship with Jack. And at one point in the novel, their hotel room is mysteriously canceled. This part was weird.
I was like, are we in a romance novel?
I know. And there was, I guess, something going on in town. So every single hotel in this quiet town was all of a sudden booked up.
It was the murder. They were like, we're the only hotel and the press is here. And I was like, yeah, they are press.
Yeah. So they're like, all right, well, where are we going to go? And then Richard creepily suggests that they go to a nearby house that belongs to his wife's deceased parents. And so now you have this notion that, is Richard the killer? Because now all of a sudden he's being creepy as fuck. He's
never
creepy.
Mentioned this before. We've been staying in the hotel this whole time.
Yeah, and like up until this point, he's been a pretty normal character in my opinion. So now like he just flips a switch and now he's creepy old man Richard, and I'm like,
and also the fact that he never said that he had any attachment to this little town.
Yeah, I know.
It's just so weird.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, Anna, you never listened to me. And she's like, I mean,
you're probably
right, but
I am drunk 98% of the time. Of course, her phone battery is dead, and she's also beginning to have weird vibes like us about Richard. And when they arrive, Hannah, who the fuck is Hannah? Anna discovers that Richard's wife is Kat Jones, who is her rival at the station. And Richard's like, what do you mean you don't know that Kat Jones is my wife?
And to Richard, I say, I'm asking the same question. Anna is so self-absorbed.
So self-absorbed. And the next twist is that Kat Jones is actually Catherine Kelly, the girl that was bullied. I felt like I saw this one coming. It took me a minute, but I did feel like I eventually was going to get to this point, and it was correct. While in the house, she's thinking about like sneaking out, but before she does, she hears Richard screaming, and her plugged-in phone is now nowhere to be found. So she's like, I guess I'll go investigate. She all of a sudden has like this conscience. She's like, I can't leave Richard.
This shit pissed me off so much. She's like, Jack is always telling me that all I do is run away. And now when I have nothing to defend myself, I have no idea what's going on. And Richard could be the killer. This is the time to really prove Jack wrong and show that I can help somebody. The fuck? I would have been out. You never would have seen me again.
Yes, I agree. So upon her investigation, she finds Kat hanging from the ceiling, and Richard is mortally injured. he's still alive, but like barely. And he basically, he's kind of like hinting that he knows who it is. And so she, as Kat, all of a sudden is able to free herself, and Anna realizes like, oh my god, like it's Kat. She's
I liked
Catherine.
this part from Richard where
Yeah.
he's like on death's door and he mumbles alive and Anna's like, no, I
Uh-huh.
know you're alive, I'm working on it,
Yeah.
and but he's talking about Kat.
Mm-hmm.
I did like that.
Yeah, me too. So Anna flees into the woods, and while in the woods, she stumbles upon her ill mother, who appears to be very disoriented. So there's this running theme in the book that Kat's mom is suffering. Well, she is very ill. She has like cancer, but she also is suffering from like a form of dementia, and she's just like leaving her house in the middle of the night in like a nightgown and just walking around, which is a thing that
Mm-hmm.
old people do because Eric's
Oh,
grandma did it.
yeah. My grandma used
So
to do it too.
yeah, so she's, it is luckily like a small town, and Jack is the police detective guy, so he always is there to like bring her back home. So it's not necessarily that she shows up, but there's like a massive goose chase in the woods, and Jack and Priya are racing to find Anna, who they believe to be in danger. But Priya, they're all in the woods, and Priya is now suspicious of Jack and shoots him.
And she's like not even like she can carry a gun, but because she's a cop. But like these cops don't even carry guns, and she's just
Yeah.
out here shooting willy nilly.
Uh-huh. And then Kat catches up to Anna and her mother, and she stabs Anna's mom, and she's screaming at Anna for ruining her life. They find an abandoned car, which was the car that Jack and Priya were in, correct?
Mm-hmm.
On their way.
Mm-hmm.
So, because even like when they get to the car in the book, they're like, oh, here's this random car. And I'm just like,
And the door's open.
and so they attempt to flee, but Anna accidentally hits Kat with the car, pinning her to a tree. And then Priya arrives and shoots and kills Kat when she tries to stab Anna. So the conclusion,
Because once again, Anna is a dumb idiot. First of all, she runs into Kat and she's like, oh no, what have I done? You hit the person who's trying to kill you. Good job. But then instead of throwing that shit in reverse and running over her again, she's like, I'm just going to go check real quick. She goes up to Kat, who's obviously not dead.
Yeah.
And then Kat reaches up and grabs her. Where's the self-preservation? Sorry, go on.
It's fine. So the conclusion is that Kat was seeking revenge on the other 4 women and was the one responsible for the murders. And then when it is discovered that the knife went missing at the crime scene, Anna's final chapter of the book ends with her looking into her purse to where the murder weapon lays. We now jump forward to 6 months, and Anna and Jack have reunited, and they live with Olivia, Jack's orphaned niece. And Anna gets the BBC presenter job back because her rival is now deceased.
I mean, that's the way to get it.
Exactly. And then the truth about the murders is slowly revealed. And so we get the final section of the book. It's told from the murderer's point of view, and it is revealed that the murderer was Anna's mother all along. And I can tell you hate it. I didn't. I fucking loved this so much. So fucking much. So Anna's mother had admitted to Anna that her father hadn't just left them. She actually killed him and buried him in the backyard. And that is what made me instantly love this woman.
Okay, and that part I loved.
Yeah,
I love.
He was an abusive fuck, and like,
and then she planted was so vegetables afraid on top of his dead body,
and she was so afraid that he was going to hurt Anna because there's nothing more that this woman loves than her daughter. And Anna ends up selling her mother's house, but not before she basically puts concrete over the entire section, and she also, I believe, puts the knife there too, doesn't she, from the murders?
No, the knife was inside the beehive.
Okay, yes, all right. So obviously Anna must have had some kind of inkling, because why else would she take the murder weapon?
Mm-hmm.
There's no rhyme or reason as to why. So she had to have somehow intuitively known that none of this was making sense. So it has to be someone close to them, and therefore it's probably her mom. And she's right. So she was faking dementia in order to get away with it. She discovered Anna's suicide note in the flute of the fireplace, so it never actually burned. And in that moment, after hearing about the absolute terror that her daughter went through, she decides to kill the other girls for not only all of the horror, but they took her daughter away from her because Anna left town to go to a different school because she couldn't stand being there. And then since she was angry at Jack for the divorce and for sleeping with Rachel, she initially intended to frame him for the murders, but then changed her mind when she saw that Anna and Jack still cared for each other. So she went from framing to matchmaking. She's like, I do it all. You need me? Call me. I got you.
A
I
woman
also
of
clean
many
houses.
talents.
Yeah. And I grow vegetables. And I murder people. What do you need? I got you. So she decided to shift the blame to Kat instead. And after killing the other 3 women, she does something questionable, which is kidnap Kat's daughters and promises to release them if Kat dies by suicide. So she was like, I need you to kill yourself, and then I'm going to give your daughters to, I don't know.
Don't worry, your daughters will be safe.
Yeah, because then she ends up, she kills Richard, right? He dies, or just
Yeah, he dies, but Richard wasn't supposed to be at the house.
Yeah.
So the girls would have ended up going
with
with
him.
Richard.
Yeah, so this was like an unforeseen circumstance.
Yeah. This was a death she wasn't planning, but don't worry, she was happy to do it.
But don't worry, the daughters are still orphaned. So she kills Richard, and when he appeared at the house, like you said, and Kat, who there was this, I actually knew in this moment, and I'm sure every other reader who read this knew in this moment, there was a callback in the past that Catherine was really good at tying knots. Mm-hmm. So when I heard that she was hanging from the ceiling, I was like, she's not dead. She's absolutely faking.
Anyone who has seen Heathers knows that you can appear to be swinging and just have a rope tied around your waist and around your throat.
Yeah. So she was faking her death, and she chases Anna and her mother in the woods. And there's also this, again, it has to do with Priya's character. There's this suspicion that Priya knew all along it was Anna's mother. And even after the case was solved, she was still coming around to visit her. Mm-hmm. And the book ends with the mom making a friendship bracelet, suggesting that she has the intent to kill Priya. Mm-hmm. The end.
Okay, so you describing the twist was a lot better than it was in the book.
Yay.
Because it sounds fun when you say it.
I fucking love it. Oh, man.
I loved that she killed her husband. 100%.
Oh, yeah, me too.
I loved that. But the thing that I didn't love is that she's pretending to have dementia.
Oh, yeah. No, listen. She does a lot of fucked up shit. But, and I'm gonna say this. I think the reason why I liked it so much is because I'm a mom. that this mom was like, because honestly, same. Like, if I was as crazy as this mother and had already murdered my husband, and then I find out that all these girls were bullying my child, I would probably also seek retribution. Did it need to be murder? Not necessarily. But, I just love that this woman finds out years down the line about her daughter's past, and she's instantly like, I am going to be a vigilante and seek revenge on your behalf. Love it.
I get what you're saying, but I do think that murdering your husband in self-defense after he beats the fuck out of you, and then instead after that going to plot a very well thought out, and not just plot to kill them, but with an MO. She's carving things in their chest. She carved a word in Helen's chest in staples, which is so fucked.
Listen,
she's tying eyelids shut.
Do I think that this frail woman could commit all of these murders? Hell no. Not even remotely believable. Do I care? No.
Okay. Fair enough. We did just talk about this. The difference between you can know when a thriller is well written and then you're like super critical of it. And then there's some that are just so bad that they're good.
Yeah, like this is one of them for me. Because even after like I was done with it and I was like reading stuff about it, I was like, okay, like realistically, no, this book is actually not great plot line wise and how it was executed, but I just don't care.
And that's fine. That's what reading is all about.
Exactly. It's to our own interpretation. The one thing we kind of like briefly talked about it, but I just really want to talk about Rachel and the psychotic person that she was. It also takes a dark mind of an author to create a character like her. And I just didn't need her to be as bad as she was whatsoever. Like, okay, I get like the Regina George of it all and being a bully, but once it got to like the sexual assaulting, I was like, no.
I agree. Like there was a point where all of it, like when she's telling Helen that she has to write their essays. Okay. But then when Helen purposely does it wrong, she beats her up. So she's got a black eye and all this shit.
Yeah.
Like it just was so unrealistic to the level that it got.
And I totally forgot. There was that random, I hated this. I hated this so much when the teacher knew that they had the same assignment. And then what Rachel did was basically blow the teacher in order to get it to go away. And then she goes into the woods with Anna and like sexually goes down on her or whatever to like, you know, and then she's like, do you have gum? And I was like, oh my God, get me out of here. I want to leave.
My mouth is full of the teacher's semen because I just had to make sure we got A's on our assignment.
My eyes felt violated. I was like, I did not accept. There was no consent to this storyline. I did not consent to this.
It felt so unnecessary. And the reason it felt so unnecessary is because you could have had that entire plot point, like that entire thing with the Mean Girls, with Rachel, all this stuff, and it didn't have to go that far.
No. As soon as like the sexual grooming and everything came into play, I was like,
it could have stopped at the pictures. It could have stopped at her getting them drunk and taking pictures of them naked. Listen,
I feel like that is a total believable move of like a really mean girl who wants to have blackmail against other people because that's just who she is as a person.
But when doesn't realize or who rationalizes to herself that it's okay if I sell these pictures for money because no one's ever going to know about it or they're young. They like, I get that part. I could see how that could happen.
Yeah.
And then it just gets to the point where I'm like, we didn't need any of this. Like this 16-year-old girl is not making plans for these grown men to be groping, raping, attacking these girls in the woods. And she's like, look, I got some money out of it. It was too much. It was too much.
You know, and actually there was another, correct me if I'm wrong, because you like just read it. I read this like 2 weeks ago, but there was also this weird, I think, open-ended scenario where Rachel was like reaching out to everyone, but we don't know why. Because Anna says like, oh, I just saw her. And I think Zoe says something. Her. Yeah. And I was like, okay, but why?
Yeah.
Like
apparently
Rachel
was reaching out to blackmail them. We never find out more about it. But Rachel and Helen were still friends.
Yeah.
Because they were still communicating. But yeah, that's an open-ended. We never find out why Rachel reached out or how she was blackmailing or if that was even true.
Yeah. I just thought of that.
There was a lot of those type of things in here.
Yeah. Yeah, basically.
And like grown up Rachel was, they said that she was like a bitch, but that she was so charismatic and she's like the person that
Mm-hmm.
everyone looks at and she's gorgeous and she's so well put together. A girl who is doing that type of shit at 16 is not a well put together adult. And you cannot convince
No.
me otherwise.
No.
And
No.
she's also not fucking Jack in the car.
Yeah. Well, she was like banging everyone, it sounded like. But then it's like interesting to me because I mean, obviously she was bisexual, but what was her grooming of Anna more of a mechanism of control, of
Yes,
exerting control? You know
I
what I
think
mean?
so. Because of the way that Anna described the interactions of her being like, oh, and then she fingered me, and oh,
Mm-hmm.
you feel better now, right?
Yeah.
So it was like, it was definitely a method of control and to like control her moods and her reliance on Rachel. And I just like, it was so weird the way it was spoken about, because in some scenes it was like Anna just kind of like turned her mind off and like disconnected from what was going on. And then in
Yeah.
other scenes she's like, yeah, and I really liked it when Rachel did stuff like that. And it's like,
I know. It was very well, I think that's kind of the one messy part of the novel is that the characters are so contradicting, which
mm-hmm,
might be the point of it as well. You know, because I feel like they have one thought, but then the next thought is something complete opposite.
mm-hmm.
And so I
Yeah.
think it just kind of throws you in a whirlwind.
Mm-hmm. And that's why it was such a reach when Anna was doing all of this stuff at the end, because she did have self-preservation and she was such a narcissistic asshole
Mm-hmm.
that it's like, I get that they're like, oh, she's got to change her ways. She wouldn't have done that. Give me a break. Like some of this stuff just didn't make sense for their characters.
I agree.
And also like Zoe, another person who wouldn't grow up to be a normal human being.
No, uh, no. And she basically had an oops baby
Mm-hmm.
because apparently she was kind of just sleeping around a lot. And, you know, her character was very like lackadaisical and didn't have a real purpose, to be honest.
The purpose was just to like be the nagging voice in the back of Jack's head.
But also, like, how did her family not know that she had cats in the shed?
And also,
Like, are you telling me that, like, your parents, your dad never goes out in the fucking shed, or your brother
or they
doesn't go out
don't
in the
walk
shed?
past it and hear these little cats
Yeah,
screaming.
yeah.
And also, at least like when you hear about the stuff that Helen is doing, we do get an example of Rachel forcing her or,
Yes.
you know, abusing her, like to get her to do stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's never implied that Zoe didn't want to do what she was doing.
No, I think Zoe was fucked up and she was into
Yeah, like
everything.
she loved it.
Mm-hmm.
So like
Yeah, I
Rachel
think.
and Zoe were meant for each other.
Yeah, because I think that's why, and I would assume that she was written that way because at one point I think you do kind of wonder maybe it was Zoe and she just has like a psychological break.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And also, another thing, Helen, there is no way that Helen is still going to be friends with this woman 20 years later who beat the shit out of her when they were younger because you weren't doing all your homework for her. Like that
Yeah,
is crazy to me.
it is, but I also feel like it can happen. I think that when you're like in an imbalanced friendship like that, and I think that what Rachel kind of encompasses as like the popular girl, the it girl of the town. Not saying that like Helen like wanted to be that, but I think you kind of just have to. It's almost like that whatever that saying is, if you can't beat them, join them kind of
Mm-hmm.
situation.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that it's kind of like that. But here's the thing about like girls, that's just what happens. Like
Mm-hmm.
you're molded at such a young age by certain people that have a lasting effect on you, and you don't realize it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like so many parts of this did make sense to me, and especially like the obsessive friendships and the
Mm-hmm.
like the way that they would all kind of turn on Kat when they were like bullying her and stuff, because that's that whole like, you know, mob mindset.
Mm-hmm.
But then like when they were in the woods, all of their attitude towards the sex with these older men
Yeah.
and the way it was so transactional.
Mm-hmm.
And like I get it. I get what they were trying to portray by that, but it just seemed so insane to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was not the grooming was one thing. The putting up these girls for sale without their consent was a whole other ballgame.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then basically she was like, oh, we took your shoes so you can't run away from us.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that whole scenario. Whew. Like I said, Rachel was a real doozy.
Wow, this book was way darker than I remembered.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting it to be that dark. Like I knew that it was going to be like a psychological thriller, but when it took a couple twists and turns, I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, and like even from the description, the title, all this stuff, you would not see this coming. I really hope people actually check trigger warnings, because
honestly, because I would not even think to check trigger warnings about this book, to be quite honest. You know, I really, really wouldn't. And like this one is definitely one that should have some kind of forewarning in the front of the book. Yeah. Especially just for like the sexual assault alone.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
and the fact that it is about young girls.
Yeah, and like because Catherine is getting assaulted when she's unconscious. She's not consenting to this.
Mm-mm. And they're fucking taking turns on her.
Gross.
Anywho.
Again, kind of... we really picked the books with the times. You know? Because like the new like Epstein files that just got released. It's very similar.
And like it also just shows why it was so easy for Epstein to do what he did because of money and power and being surrounded by men with money and power. Donald Trump. And just the fact of like how it is so easy to brainwash children into this, or not even to brainwash some of them and others just to openly assault them and not have any consequences.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think this is what Alice Feeney was going for, but
no.
alas, here we are. Now I'm like, the show is not going to get this dark.
I mean, I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, we're gonna watch it in February.
Yeah, I'm definitely planning to watch it this month.
I'm gonna look up how many episodes it is, but then we can revisit on Bookish Banter.
It's like 4, 5, 6, probably 6.
6.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's not too bad.
Huh. Yeah, we'll report back at the end of the month.
Can't wait.
See what routes this book took.
Jesus Christ.
Anyways, was there anything else you wanted to discuss?
We've really, really hit it all.
Out of the goddamn ballpark. All right, so our rating is obviously out of pairs of friendship bracelets. How could I not?
Of course it's friendship bracelets.
And there was 5.
Perfect. Okay, I sure didn't give it 5 friendship bracelets.
Really? I thought you did.
Shocking, I know. So let's see. The first time I read this, I gave it 3 friendship bracelets. And I am going to stay true to 2022, Kelsey, and stick with 3. And I actually think that's being generous. I hate a drunk main character.
Yeah, I know.
Hate a drunk main character. At least she didn't use it as an excuse to forget stuff, because apparently she's the best drunk person in the whole world, remembers everything that she did.
I know. Like she
Could
remembers,
never be me.
She's drunk as fuck in the hotel room, and she's like, I don't think I remember putting that bottle of water there or moving this thing. And I was like,
and how was she drinking? She had like 6 miniatures before 8 a.m., by the way. And then she blows in her breathalyzer and she's like, still good to drive. And I'm like, I think your breathalyzer is broken. Anyway, I thought the writing was so bad. Like, there was just so much fluff and what felt like cliches or like
Mm-hmm.
cliche statements. Like,
Yeah.
well, you never call a bird by its wings, or like some weird shit that had nothing to
Yeah,
do
I
with
know.
anything. And that's why I dislike the twist so much, because the chapters from the killer's POV felt so cheesy and so
Mm-hmm.
like just like eye rolling. Like my eyes hurt from rolling them so hard.
Oh yeah,
So
no. I definitely agree with that.
while I do agree that I'm happy that she just went in a completely different direction with the twist, the writing was too bad for me to ignore.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I admire her for going there, and it was a quick read. I can't even lie. I read this whole thing in
No, it
one
was
day,
fast. Mm-hmm.
zipped right through it. So, that's why she gets 3 friendship bracelets. Anyway, tell me about your fucking 5-star rating over here, Heather.
All right, so I'm gonna be like our Love Island UK peeps, and I'm gonna stand on business right now because
Charge it. Charge it.
I stand by my rating, and this book got this rating for the mom and the mom alone. No
Okay.
other reason.
Okay.
I did give it 4.5. Because I
can't
couldn't
take you seriously.
I know, and it's fine, like you don't have to. And it wasn't even because the writing was good. It wasn't anything.
Oh,
It
I
was
know.
just the concept that this woman found out about this traumatic past of her daughter, and she's like, "You know what? Fuck all y'all. Your time is up on this goddamn planet because you fucking hurt my daughter." And I'm like, you know what, Mom?
See, and that's why I said when you describe it, it sounds so much better than what I read in that book. Because that sounds amazing. The book you just wrote in your rating sounds great.
I'll just rewrite it real quick. I'll edit a few paragraphs. It'll be fine. I put it down and I was like, God damn, that's a good mom. That's a good fucking mom. That's a good mom. Not only does she murder your father because he's a piece of shit, but then even though and here's the kicker. Anna basically like ghosts her mom. She just doesn't speak to her.
Horrible
and
daughter.
Anna's mom is still like, I love you so much, and even though like you've basically cut me out of your life and don't talk to me much, I still care about you this much.
Okay, maybe I'm having an issue with this because my mom would never.
Oh.
Like when my high school boyfriend and I broke up and she still like texted him and still was friends with his mom. I just like, maybe I need to talk to my therapist about it.
We don't have time to talk about mothers right now. Our own personal mothers.
You're so right. You're so right. Okay, I'm just gonna make a note for my therapist along with the oven mitts. Anywho.
Yeah, so
I love that for you.
I did it.
I love that.
I don't take it back. I stand on motherfucking business.
You should, as you should. That's charges to the game, man. Wow. Okay, great. I didn't see that coming. I'm so happy that you got a 4.5-star read this month. Great for you. I can't wait to see our opinions on the TV show and see if they are.
Oh my god, I'm
the
actually
same,
really excited.
Opposite. This is gonna be amazing.
But I love both those actors, so I'm really excited to see how they do because I love Tessa and I love John, and they're both like phenomenal on their own.
Well, so and it's Netflix, so like it's gonna be semi well done,
exactly.
Regardless, so
all right. I think that's all we have for you today.
I don't know. Wild ride we just went on. To be quite
honest. You want to talk about mother trauma? Hit us up. We'll talk about it.
We'd love to.
If you like what you heard, please make sure to follow, subscribe, and rate and review the podcast on whatever platform you listen to us on. If you have any book recommendations or questions for us, you can email us at fullybookedcalfpod@gmail.com. Also, be sure to follow us on TikTok and Instagram at fullybookedcalfpod to see our upcoming reads. Thanks for checking us out, and remember,
if you need us, we're fully booked.
Bye!